Hi guys, welcome back to the Scruffy Fam. This is Tasha, in case you didn't already know. And we have been crazy busy lately. Last weekend was actually our Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school's very first seminar ever, like the day after our second anniversary. So that was super exciting. So that took up pretty much an entire weekend between the planning and then the actual day of and then the recovery day afterwards. So we haven't gotten a whole lot of chance to come out and do anything in the garden, except for some maintenance stuff, a little bit of watering. It's actually been a really dry spring so far. I don't know if we're officially in a drought, but I know a lot of our lakes and rivers and ponds are super low. So this weekend is supposed to be a lot of rain. I'm sure after that the garden is going to explode. But in the meantime, there's a lot of growth and a lot of really cool things happening. So I wanted to do our very first garden tour and kind of show you guys around and let you see what we've got going on here. So of course, we're going to start with, whoop, falling over. Hello, ladies. I don't know if you're going to get any treats right now. They love when I pull weeds. They love to eat them and fight over them. It's kind of funny. Alright, so this is our spring bed. So as you can see, we have, these are the beets. We're succession planting them, so I'm probably actually this weekend going to be planting this square here. And then these are supposed to be our onions. Don't get me started, it's an experiment. We'll get to that in a minute. So first, really exciting is we have, I think almost all of our peas came up. They're not quite tall enough to train onto our bamboo trellis here, but as you can see, they're getting really close. I think we might have one guy over there that is just tall enough to reach, so we might start training him up. But, oh, there we go. First one right there is grabbed on, if you guys can see that. There we go. So yeah, our peas are doing really well. These were all direct sown. Super excited for these guys to get nice and tall. This is definitely more plants than we planted last year. So I'm expecting to get a pretty amazing harvest out of that. This one is our first go round of beets. As you can see, we've got little seedlings here. I came out and thinned a little bit the other day, but I'm still kind of waiting to see for sure which one's germinated. I think we might be missing the guy. It's like there's two spots that didn't quite germinate. But yeah, so we'll come out and thin these very soon here, but I'm excited to see if our beets get any bigger this year. Not just the tops. And then here is our radishes growing like crazy. None of them quite have roots growing yet. I think we're still just getting started, but very exciting. Over here is our kale. Okay, so this first square, this is the premier kale. And then this one here is the red Russian kale, and they both look like they're doing really well. Next to it, we have, this is the tatsoi. So this is an Asian spinach, and it's supposed to be a little bit more heat tolerant than traditional spinach. So when we get into proper, warm temperatures, this guy should keep going and give us some fresh salads. And then here we've got our lettuce. This was a mix, and we have some red lettuces, we have some mix, some proper green leaf lettuces. Very excited about those. And then we have our two squares of the spinach. I'm trying to get some actual proper baby spinach leaves if we wanted to start eating them. So all in all, I am super happy with our spring bed. It's doing really well. And then another experiment is we actually moved the carrots over to this pot. It's a really big self-watering pot. So you can see the little hole down there. I was just kind of wondering if this will give them a little bit of space, but also give us room to put some of the bigger stuff in the bed. And as you can see, we have some actual spinach. I'm sorry, not spinach, carrot seedlings coming up. So that's super exciting. I did the straw with them last year and it worked great. They come right up through it and they don't really seem to care too much. I have 3 different varieties in here. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head, but I do know one of the ones I got that is like a dark purple carrot is more heat tolerant. So my plan is after these guys kind of come and we pull them and then they're gone, or maybe in a different pot, I will plant the other ones so that we kind of have a little bit of a staggered harvest. Oh, this is a weed. This is not a carrot. Ignore that. So one thing that I have discovered this year with our garden is sometimes straw does not make the best mulch. So you saw that thing that I just pulled out of the carrots. And here in our potato bed, these guys are all over the place. And it's actually, well, I don't actually know what crop it is. I mean, thankfully the chickens like to eat it. There you go, ladies. So I'm not actually sure what crop it is. And this is just Tractor Supply straw that we've used before. We used all last year from them. Same brand. I mean, I suppose it's possible that the brand sources it from different places, but I don't know. We never had this problem before, and then now I have these weeds all over our entire garden. It's really annoying. Okay, so the next really cool thing we have going on here, this is the hardneck garlic. Except for that weed in there. I need to pull that guy. But look at how tall these guys are getting. So this is the music variety of garlic. And then over here was supposed to be the soft neck, but as you can tell, oh, I have some weeds. That's about it. It didn't do anything. So that was definitely a failed experiment. We're going to be preparing this bed for some of our summer stuff very soon. And I will probably figure out, maybe I'll toss some like sunflowers or something in here. I think we did have a plan for these squares. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, forget the soft neck. Hard neck garlic, southern Wisconsin, grows great. I am very, very excited to harvest these guys and see what kind of bulbs we get. And I talked about the potato bed, but I didn't actually show you. So this is super exciting. We're getting all of our little baby potato sprouts poking up through the straw. These are all indeterminate varieties, so I don't need to worry about covering them back up. But that is super exciting. Haven't had to water this bed, even with it being dry. So Google culture for the win. All right, now let's go check on our berry bushes. Okay, so up here on our side deck of our house is our blueberry. And it is looking great. See if we can get some detail shots there. Yeah, so this thing was completely covered in flowers. And then we did get one rainstorm, and it knocked a bunch of them off. But it looks like we're still growing strong. I'm super excited to see how many berries we get off of this thing this year. Now on to our 2 elderberries. So I'm going to try not to show too much of our landscaping. We're still very much in the process of redoing it. It's a pretty hefty overhaul and it's taking a lot of time and a lot of money for mulch and pavers and all that stuff. So eventually we'll show you this, guys. But right now, what I want to talk about is our elderberry right here. Get our hydrangea pieces out of there. Alright, so this is our ranch variety of elderberry. And this one's actually been having some really bizarre issues. I don't know if you can quite tell here. Some of the leaves were kind of curled. Some of the leaves were kind of curling. And so I actually cut off one of the stems and kind of took it apart, trying to see, was there a disease? Was there an infestation? What was going on? Couldn't find anything at all. And then had recently fertilized it. And so all of this new growth here, looks like it's being a little bit eaten, but you know, it's super healthy. So I don't really know. It was growing with this kind of pattern last year too. But all this new growth looks great. So I don't know, maybe there was just something weird about last year that just kind of came back in the spring. Nobody's been able to answer what's going on with it. I did want to get a soil test of this patch to see if there were any major nutrients missing. But that's why I'm kind of wondering if this new growth is great because we did fertilize. Maybe it kind of corrected some of those. All right, and then over here on the side of our front porch, so this here is our Bob elderberry, and he's growing like crazy. This one has not ever had any issues. It still blows my mind that these guys basically were sticks that we stuck in the ground last year. Still waiting to see if we're gonna get any berries off of them or how many this year. And I don't think that we prune them until the end of the next season. So we just get to watch these guys go crazy this year. And the only other thing, I want to brag a little bit. I finally picked up a fuchsia. I have loved these flowers for years, and I just never justified getting myself one. So today's Mother's Day, which I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning of this video. I'm actually recording this on Mother's Day, so you'll be seeing this later. I don't know exactly when. But happy late Mother's Day to all of the ladies that were, are, or want to become mothers. It's not an easy job, but we got this. Alright, so that is all of our outdoor plants and what we have going on there right now. So now we're going to go inside and see if I can show you guys the baby seedlings that I have started indoors. Okay, so I do have to be quiet because this is upstairs and the babies are taking a nap right now. But super excited. I just potted these up this morning. They were getting a little cramped. So I'm super excited to see what kind of growth they have now. So there's our poblano, habanada, Arctic rose tomatoes, white tomasil. Oh, we're knocking over the back ones. Peppers, and there is our mess of onions. I don't know if the onions are going to be able to plant this year or if they're just going to be small. I got them started really late. A bunch of them here under the grow lights just kind of shriveled up. I don't know if I wasn't watering them properly. I don't know if it was the grow bags that I was using. I will not be using them again. As you can see, I potted everything up into normal nursery pots. So Alright, well, that's the end of everything we've got growing right now, guys. Thank you very much for following along, and please subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and follow us at The Scruffy Fam on Instagram, and I'm at The Scruffy Mama, trying to post more stuff that we're doing, which is hard when we're super busy, but I want to bring you guys along on our adventures. So thank you very much. Bye.